So this is the best of Is It That Bad, which is a series I was part of on another channel called The Chill Dude on the Couch Reviews. I will link a playlist of the episodes in the video description. Basically, the series is a panel of about 4 or 5 people. We discuss one album. It usually gets mixed reviews, sometimes new releases, other times older albums. These clips were originally posted on my channel as shorts, but I have compiled them all right here in one place. So please enjoy the video. Let's get into it.
It sounded a lot like 2000s post grunge bands like Godsmack, Seether, Nickelback, and there's some other bands that I'll mention that he was kind of like trying to emulate like later on. So I'm not saying he sounded like exactly like Creed, but he was going for that. There are some hard rockers. There were a number of ballads. The song "Wow" was pretty good, only because it reminded me of the. Do you remember the band Cake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's
It
going the
reminded me of that.
distance.
He did like this like rapping kind of thing, and I'm thinking like this kind of reminds me of Cake. So that's why I got into that song. Lost Horses. I like that one a lot. It was like goth country.
Yes.
It's just a really good song. Yeah, I like the Black and White. I thought that one was good. It's kind of like a little grungy, a little more alternative. Running to the Edge of the World. It reminded me of like one of those like hair metal like ballads from the 80s. I mean, he probably like took like 5 minutes to write it. It's just like strumming 4 chords on an acoustic. Probably, I'm pretty sure anybody could just like.
Every rose has its thorn.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was the same progression as that.
World.
Then there's a song, What Am I Doing? This is the one where they're playing with like these different like calypso beats, like reggae sounds. They reminded me of this Mexican band called Mana. I think like Hector
Oh my
Ramos.
God.
Do you know them?
Of course.
Yeah,
If you're from Puerto
they
Rico,
were-
you couldn't escape Mana.
They were big in like the late 90s. They had like a series of albums, but
I know, please don't make me remember them.
this song kind of brought back memories of Mana for some reason. But and for me, I think like there's only one band that like mixes like rock and reggae like well. That's like Scorpions. They do that well, but I think it just didn't. A few singles that I listened to, which was All My Life, the pop punk and country song with Jelly Roll. I actually don't hate that one. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of a fun song, but otherwise, I was expecting metal. I was expecting more of like a rock or how they usually sound, how I know them from the first album. But I felt it was more of like a rap album. It was just like a hip hop album. It wasn't really
With some guitars.
like a rock album. So I'm thinking like he's in a band and then he has like other players, like a bass player and a drummer. But it's like what do they do? It's like it's all like it's all just
They sat around
like,
looking pretty.
something.
Yeah. What about you, Chili? I saw you cringe when JC said that he liked the Jelly Roll song.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that right now, actually. So look, if he releases singles back in 2019, that probably means that he also had different tattoos back in that day. I don't know, it could be that old. So that's certainly something to think about when you go back to Popular Monster's 2019 release. I am not familiar with the singles released 5, 6, whatever years ago. 2 singles that I was familiar with when you recommended, hey, we got to do this one. It was All My Life with Jelly Roll and Ronald, which featured Tech Nine and Alex Terrible. And I'm like, all right, I got to do this episode. I don't think I've listened to Falling in Reverse. So, first impressions.
Weird. You didn't listen to Watch the World Burn? That was like a year and a half ago that came
I know.
out.
Maybe I did, but it didn't leave an impression on me. I don't.
Ages.
I have to say, picking a worst song from this album is going to be like, which is the worst place on the body to get a tumor? So I will start by making a comparison to, I'm a big fan of this band called The Pretty Reckless, whose front
they're
woman.
a great band.
Yeah, love them. And their front woman is another child actor.
Former child actor, yeah.
Yes. The difference is she is an amazing singer. Corey Feldman is not. His vocals are far and away the worst thing about this album. However, this is also the funniest album I've heard in a long time.
All right, let's start with track 3, Systematic Gateway. It's just this weird funk alternative rock song, and the singing is just very bad, like really bad vocals. And it actually sounds like he's drunk, like when he's singing. Like maybe he was what he did, but that's what it sounds like, a drunk person singing in a bar. That's what it sounded like in the vocals. That some of these are bad, some of them are kind of bad but kind of fun. And I think for me in that category where the so bad is good, I would say like Thor. You know, that for me, like there were a couple songs where I thought were kind of catchy. Even the Falling Reverse from the other day. A couple of those songs are listenable, kind of, so bad is good. I've been like listening to a couple songs here and there, but this one I think it's unlistenable. This one, it just no. It just like really, just everything about it is just like not good. I didn't find any song here that I thought was listenable. Maybe the song I'm Flying Away is like semi-listenable, but otherwise, like I don't really feel the need to go back to this at all. So it's definitely a big thumbs down for me. It's one that I think it's maybe one of the worst that we've ever done on this series. Never watched any of those like Ink shows or anything. I think I was expecting like more of a rock album. I think like with her image, I think I was expecting something along the lines of a Motley Crue type of sound. But I think I was expecting like a Lita Ford, like that type of thing. But no, it's different. It's electronic, it's pop, it's dark, goth. There's some stuff here which I thought it was okay. I listened to it actually twice. The second time around, I think I liked it like a little better than the first time. It wasn't really what I was expecting, but I think it's the type of album that might have potential if I listen to it a little more. I'll get into that in the next few rounds, but.
Damn, I'm gonna go back and listen to Parachutes. That was actually a really good album. I thought, it was fun going back to that one, and A Rush of Blood to the Head or whatever it was called.
Okay. And I was pleasantly surprised by their 2019 album, Everyday Life.
So, yeah, you pray. I pray. We all pray for this song to be skipped because
it's gonna be good feelings. And I kind of like what Chili said, because in my notes I put something similar. I put it sounds like that royalty-free music that like is on like TikTok or like any kind of type of like video. That's what this sounds like. It's just
they fall in love with the sun, or I don't know. It's just the corniest love songs ever. I can't remember the lyrics right now, but I just remember that it sounded like really generic music. And now,
but I think as a whole, myself going back to it, so I don't like the songs that I like aren't enough to save it. So.
Retire, B, keep putting music.
Hey.
That's what we'll, but do not spoil it, man. Like, how dare you? So yeah.
I did Coldplay, Motley Crue, and so on and so forth. Wow. And boy, was that a trip.
I will say about the movie, it was too short. The part where they got into the tour and they're with Ozzy is too short.
I'm saying right, that's a very underrated album. Motley Crue.
I think it's a good one, yeah.
It's a very great album.
Other songs have been done in this year alone about being cancelled. Look at Falling in Reverse, for example.
As for should Motley Crue retire, they go on. If they want to go on, they should just go either all in or call it quits, because this EP is just very half-ass. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's like 3 songs. I mean, like,
pop punk in the 90s and 2000s. We had Green Day, Sum 41, Blink-182. Now we have Offspring. So it's been a good year if you're a fan.
Of course, Make It All Right was out this past summer. Sounded like a knockoff of Blink-182.
With the Offspring is since the 90s. The first album I bought was Smash.
That shitty song in my head. And thank you for ruining the country's image for me, Dexter, for that purpose. The big Jesus statue needs a hug after all this is going to be said and done.
It's kind of become a little bit of a joke of seeing that in every single comment section for every single band on Instagram or anywhere else on social media.
I know they do that a lot, but I just found it kind of boring. And I was reading comments. A lot of people were saying it sounded like a song called Army of One, which was on the previous album, I believe.
Was Rebecca Showshit? I'm going to probably mispronounce that.
Sure.
The single Get Naked, I remember the music video. I must have watched it on MTV or something. I haven't watched it again, Like I probably should look it up on YouTube. I remember the music video is like they're naked, but they're all like blurred out or something. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I listened to this for the first time. I listened to it once, I think yesterday, and then once again today, just to kind of take notes and prepare. I felt it was kind of like all over the place, like rap rock. Some of it's just rap. Some of it's like West Coast rap. There's a song with Kid Rock, which I hate to say it is probably like the best song on the album. And
You know what? I was
kinda
listening to it, and it is the best song on the record.
yeah, so
Is
that
it?
kind of gives you a hint of where I'm going to go with this later.
I think-
My number 2 is Metamorphosis, and this is just because this has like the worst lyrics, like some of the worst lyrics I've ever read in a rap song. I pulled it up on my screen here, so here's the pre-chorus: like, I'm a father to my son, yeah, I'm a son to my father. You cannot dismiss, I'm living proof of metamorphosis.
Yeah, and when
And
I was
then,
listening that song, I was like, "Where the hell is Brandon?"
Hiding in his room in shame.
Yeah, and then there was another one like towards the end. We all possess the power, concrete like a tower, so delicate seed becomes a flower. And it's just so like random. Like I don't know. It just has the worst lyrics. But my number 1 is Get Naked. Again, I can't get past the lyrics. It just I don't know, something about like 1999 where like they had all these like explicit lyrics. I'm thinking of like the Bloodhound Gang that came out the same year. This tape, Ron Jeremy, Little Kim talking about how she doesn't take anything under 7 inches. It's just like I like how is this a single and like not everything like bleeped out or I don't know. But there must be a clean version. I like this line. You only love me when you want punani.
Only
That's
love me
from
when you
something?
want punani.
Was that sampled from something?
That
know.
punani is slam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
I
cool.
thought that you said that you didn't know what it was, and I was like,
Oh no, I absolutely know what it
the
means.
bees and the birds. So those are the picks for
Yeah.